But I am exploring a road that I haven't done too much since we arrived in here. We're not too far from our Torchwood boundary, but it is quite a pretty road. I'm very much enjoying it. It's not, well, you know, more for the scenery than for anything else. I think the lack of animals is something that is pretty universal at the moment, and from what I can pick up on the radio, everyone's pretty much struggling today because everything seems to be a bit on the quiet side. I'm sure animals have retired into areas where it's harder for us to follow up, but we shall carry on trying. Hope never dies. Right, we will carry on driving into the cut line while Jamie is braving the storm.
Oh, there we go as we continue on in the Mara. Our roof is back up again, or at least the flaps are back up again. Oh, yes, I will move up for you. Another safari vehicle. And the wonderful thing about the Mara is that when you want to spot something, you can at great distances. And there's a hippopotamus. And I've decided, I'm pretty sure that's what the noise was. I think there were two hippo having a bit of an argument. I didn't even realize as we were driving along to investigate the sound that I heard. There we go.
Ellies.
There we go. We've got Ellies and our hippopotamus on the right. Gives you a sense of perspective of the size of the two animals, because it's not often that we see them next to each other, is it? At least not when the hippo's out of the water. Not unheard of for elephants to chase hippopotamus, but there's no reason at the moment. There's plenty of water around. I think that's the hippo that was having an argument with another one earlier. Two Goliaths in one frame. That's very, very cool. I can see the rest of the herd up ahead, so I'm actually going to go a bit closer so that we can catch up with them. You know what's nice, Dave? Is Pucker's key is now turning quite happily. That's very good. Maybe she just needed a few moments to collect herself. Oh, the only problem is the gears are not... they're loose. I don't quite know exactly what it is, but it's impossible to change gear without grinding it. Let's go catch up with these Ellies, and then maybe there'll be some hyena around the dead hippopotamus. And kestrel spots, yes indeed, hippo out at the daytime, or in the day. That's actually very, very common, particularly on a cool and cloudy day. We're going to see hippos walking around. Often when we've been on bushwalks in the Sabi sand, we mention on a cold day how we have to be extra careful, because especially in winter when it's cool and the hippopotamus are struggling to find grass to keep themselves properly fed, they spend quite a lot of time out of water. And the reason I think this hippo's out is partly because it's cool and cloudy and rainy, and also because it was having an argument with another hippopotamus a little bit off to what is that direction? I'm still trying to orientate myself, especially on a cloudy day. Yeah, west. Must be west. It's where the sun's going. Oh, we got some coaks up ahead. That might be new for some of you, a new animal. You can see some Topi. Let's go and see if there's a Coke's hartebeest with them. There is too. Looks like a small, pale Topi. Oh, look at that, Dave. Look, they're having a... I'm scared they're going to stop if I get closer, but the young ones over there were having a little bit of a... Oh, not quiet, are we, Pucker? Oh, there we go. Young ones playing. So there we go. We've got the Topi with their dark legs, and then the Coke's hartebeest off to the right as well. Let's get closer since they've stopped fighting. They seem to be in high spirits. Topi are hilarious. They sleep during the day out in the open, and I think they just feel more comfortable, the animals here, about sleeping out in the open, because you see it more often. but they sleep with their noses on the ground. It looks so peculiar. I can't quite explain it. I'll have to show you at some point. Lucian, I have to tell you, yes. Wait, let's watch these antelope because they are playing at the moment, and then I'll tell you about the view from the top of the hills. Lucian is saying that the view, of course, every time I try and point out what they're doing, they stop it. Murphy's Law. Oh well, can talk about the view. The view is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. We live, or we are going to live, at the moment we're living at Ngama. But we live, there is final control. It will be painted at some point, so the white walls won't stick out too much. There you go. That's a final control. That big window, well, that big open space that will one day be a window in the not too distant future, that will be the studio, which will be the sort of the equivalent of the tent in South Africa. And it's got the most spectacular view in the world. This view, of course, was what was seen out of Africa, the famous view across the open area. I'm going to make my way towards those elephants and then do a bit of a bumble around. While I do, let's go back across to Ali, who has plans to go to Chitwa.
Yes, I am trying to go to Chitwa, see if maybe there we have some better luck in a different land. I am going to see crocodiles in the dam. I haven't seen crocodiles for a while, so if I do get there, I'll be able to tell you all about the research that I tried doing about crocodiles a while ago. But let's not get ourselves ahead of time and then carry on the dam again once more today. I'm sure will come and its sticks are not too far from the boundary. So I am hoping.
Hello everybody, we're back. We're amongst the gentle giant. This is
once again, I'm just warning Dave, who doesn't have any form of communication, and I'm busy communicating on Skype. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, everyone. It seems as though Djuma disappeared. Both Ali and Tayla vanished off your screens. It seems to have been an attack of the gremlins. I'm just going to try and figure out a more user-friendly way of using this monitor. Dave, can I just unhook that? Is that possible? There we go. There we go. Brilliant. Now, we didn't have to drive anywhere to catch up with our elephants because they've come to us. And of course, being in the Mara means that we can sit with animals when they're much, much further away. I wonder. I still want to go in that direction, though, because I want to go and see whether there's any hyenas. Hello, little one. No sign of the baby elephant that we saw being born. But I have no doubt, he's so cute, I have no doubt we'll see it again in the not-too-distant future. In the meantime, we've got this little one to keep us entertained. Baby elephants often suck their trunks like little children suck their thumbs. It's a comfort thing. No, don't bite your trunk. Don't bite your trunk, you silly thing. What are you doing? Yes. Ooh, back to the safety of Mum. Oh, what's happening here? Getting bullied by the older calf. Stevie, you want to know if elephant ears are the most sensitive part of their body? I guess they probably are very sensitive because the skin is so thin, but I'm not sure that they have that many nerve receptors around the skin itself. I would say the most sensitive part of an elephant's body would probably be around the eye and around the mouth, and especially the tip of the trunk. Now, the tip of the trunk is, well, the whole elephant's body actually, but the tip of the trunk in particular, there's an olive baboon at the back. It has bristly long hairs that basically act like whiskers, and it helps the elephant to be sensitive enough to be able to pick up the tiniest branch or twig off the road, and yet at the same time the trunk is strong enough to yank down the massive branches that it might want to feed on. So I would say that the most sensitive part of an elephant is its trunk, would be my guess. I think that's where you're going to find the highest concentration of nerves, and around its face, its eyes, its mouth, those sorts of areas. And of course, an extension of that is the amazing thing that is a trunk. Well, you have to learn to use yours if you're a baby elephant. And that's one of our favorite things on these live safaris, and I think all of our regular viewers will agree, that watching a baby elephant learn to use its trunk, whether you're in Djuma or here in Kenya, is thoroughly entertaining. It's like a little, I don't know, I mean, it's just so much shorter as well than the adults. Oh, Megs, just to let you know, you are breaking up quite badly. Let me just see if it's maybe my phone. It did get a little bit wet earlier. Meggy Megs, can you hear me? Ah, there we go. Ashland, you want to know what their predators are. An elephant can be taken down by a lion. It is possible. Not one lion, obviously. It's only the fact that lions hunt as social creatures that they would be able to tackle something as large as an elephant. It's unusual. It apparently does happen here. There's certain prides in Botswana that have specialized in that sense. And they generally don't go for the young babies, although you might think that it would be the most obvious thing in the world to do. You go for something small and vulnerable. The whole herd is likely to come rushing out to protect a baby. And they generally tend to hunt the young males that are just on the outskirts of the herd, just at the point where they're about to leave. And the herd pays them less attention than they might the little ones. I also think it's possible that hyenas could hunt. I was thinking about hunt an elephant. I was thinking about it when our baby elephant was born. And I was actually a little bit concerned. I was imagining, because the whole herd left that female alone. And for our viewers that perhaps have missed that update, Brent, Dave, and myself actually watched a baby elephant take its first steps. We just missed its birth. But we were at the point where, when we first saw it, it was still covered a little bit in the amniotic sac. And I was worried. I was imagining hyenas, because a big clan of hyenas up here can reach over 100 animals. And it would just take a few of them to distract mum, and the rest of them to catch the baby. I don't know how often that's been recorded, but it would be interesting to know. I have wonderful news. It's an animal that I haven't seen yet in Kenya, but Ali has found one.
Yes! We did, when we had lost all hope of finding anything this afternoon. There it is. I've got close to no idea to whom this might be, so please do send us an idea. Maybe Tamba, I want to say, because of those beautiful markings underneath his face. I have never seen him before, so if it is him, I'll be very happy. Oh, this is wonderful. Very sleepy cat. Ah, we got a fright because we got super excited when we spotted him just sleeping all the way up there. Yay! I think my heart is still racing. Not too bad. Good to see him today. Wonderful news. So, just as we thought that maybe the gremlins were gonna beat us and win, here we are. I do think it's Dumba, just because I remember Tayla mentioning this wonderful markings underneath his eyes, but again, I'm not 100% sure, so if you guys can let us know once you've managed to ID who this beautiful cat is, we are more than happy to share it with the rest. for now it seems like it's quite sleepy, whoever you are. Have you been walking far? Wonderful. He was eyeing up the tree, so nowadays we've got to double check trees because, you know, there might be another 5 leopards on top of the tree. I don't think that is the case today. I think this is pretty much the only one around. But wonderful, isn't it? Oh, looking so happy. James, Richard, and other viewers, you say maybe Hosana? Now the plot thickens. Now I'm even more unsure of who this might be. Doesn't seem like him. Maybe if we can get a bit of a look at the spot pattern. He's got almost like a little butterfly on top and very dark markings underneath the eyes, if that helps anyone. Whoever it is, definitely quite sleepy. Beautiful. Definitely. Dina, you say he's so handsome. I completely agree with you. I think he is very stunning indeed. And oh, beautiful dark markings, isn't he? Seems slightly darker than some of the other leopards around. Look at him. Sorry guys. Are you going to... Oh, my goodness, someone is very tired. I wonder if he just got onto the termite mound after walking for a little while. Maybe I'm going to move slightly backwards to see if perhaps we can get a bit of a view at its shoulder, and that might be able to help us ID it. So excited! Look at this! There we go. Who are you? Let's have a closer look. Beautiful, stunning creature. And you can imagine if you drive around here quite quickly, we wouldn't be able to see him. And somebody maybe wants to go up that tree because it's the second time you've been eyeing it. I don't know if it's going to be all that comfortable. So we have a consensus. We have found the royal prince, Hosana. Well, good to see you. I saw you a while ago, and it's good to see that you've been doing so well. Amazing. Not too far from where Shungili has been. I think maybe he's been exploring new areas. I don't know if he's been seen around Chitwa Dam area before. But here he is in one piece and looking very healthy. I hope he'll get up and he'll let us see just how full his belly is. But from what we can see over here and what you are seeing on the screen, he doesn't seem to be struggling at all. I think he's doing just fine, just like his sister. Wonderful news, isn't it? Oh. Beautiful teeth. Have you been walking way too much? I think you want to go up on the tree, don't you? Sparrow, you're saying that he's got such a young face. Well, yes, he does. He's still a youngster, not too old. And he still hopefully has a very long life ahead of him. He hasn't even covered maybe a quarter of his life yet. Stretching? Yawning? Well, isn't that your typical cat movement? Are you just moving around? Hehehe. Somebody's hiding from a vantage point, having a look down at the dam. I wonder if you've been eating some of the geese around here, or if he's maybe looking for some of the impala down at the bottom. I can't really see anything else from here, but he's clearly using this termite mound and he's hiding and just scanning the area. He's a bit on higher than everything else below him, so I'm sure he's just pondering about what his next move should be. Hello. We're all very happy to see you. Alright. Shanae, come back for Ali. Sorry, I'm struggling big time with this radio. I've been trying to call you before. I don't know if maybe you're interested, but we've got what looks like a young Madura English, Rumby old driveway junction static. Okay, copy.
Can you look with your binos on his head?
Okay, copy. Like I said, I'm struggling big time today with the radio, so if you can just let the Chitwa guys know, please.
Just look at the back of his head for me, please.
Look at the... Yes, I was also looking at the back of his head.
Looks like there is a wound there.
Sorry, Shanae, go again? I can't really hear you. Okay, copy. Right, he does seem to... I can't hear the radio anymore, I just hear... He does seem to have a bit of, like, what looks to be an old injury in the back of his head. Nothing to be concerned about. I don't know if maybe he just got a bit of a swat from another leopard or something else, or maybe just running around, but I don't think there's really anything to be concerned. Maybe whatever it is, it wasn't too detrimental to his health. I mean, look at him. He's looking quite stunning today, isn't he? I'm really hoping you're gonna go up the tree. I've been loving all these leopards on top of termite mounds. John, you're wondering how often leopards need to eat. Well, they don't need to eat every day the same way that we do. Sometimes they'll go a few days without having any food. I don't know if this particular one is looking at something in the tree that he does want to eat, because he's looking very puzzled and he keeps looking in the same direction. Or I don't know if he's looking for a way to climb the tree without hurting himself. So whenever they manage to bring something down and they try to get things that are going to be good energy, they want to make sure that all that energy that they spend on bringing something down is actually going to be good for them. Or it's going to be enough to refuel all the energy that they've spent on trying to catch that thing. So they'll often gorge themselves and they'll eat as much as they can in one go, and that'll be good for them so that they won't have to eat for a few days. What are you looking at? Let's just have a look at the binos on the trees. Shelly, you're saying maybe he's got a kill in the tree. I can't see anything from where I am, and I don't know if maybe there was a squirrel or a lizard hiding in and out of the tree, and that's what he was looking at, because it was almost like he was quite puzzled about everything. And we've got some young waterbuck down in the distance, and I think maybe he will spot them soon enough. You see, the waterbuck are coming straight to him, but I don't think he can see them from where he is. No, you can't see them, can you? I think maybe, there's something there. Maybe there's a bird. A squirrel. There's a squirrel in the tree moving around. I'm sure that's what he's been looking at. And squirrels are potentially a good meal for leopards. A lot of the times, youngsters, they will survive on smaller creatures like squirrels or mongoose or different other things. And it would still be very small kills, but if they make them more than a few times, they'll be able to happily survive on squirrels. I love the way he's looking up and just being so puzzled. Yes, definitely a squirrel. Are you gonna show off now? Look, he's getting angry now. Look at his face. Is the squirrel annoying you? Are you gonna chase the squirrel? Come on. Even the fish eagles want you to chase a squirrel. bit more yawning. I know we don't have the best view, but if the squirrel is not far from him, I don't want to turn the car on and then give him the advantage over the squirrel. So I just want to see if he maybe moves around somewhere else. I think he is. He's facing the other side of the tree now.
Coming to us? Oh dear, it seems as though Ali has disappeared off, but what exciting news that she has found Hosana. So in the past few days I've heard that Hosana's doing well, Shungila's doing well. I'm very happy because it was one thing I was very reluctant to leave Djuma for. Right, so we are here at the site of the dead hippopotamus, and I've stopped to see what bird life it has attracted. So far, just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of white-backed vultures, the most common vulture species that we see here, just like in Djuma. Now, there's probably, dotted between the various trees, I would say there's probably about 30 or so in various places. There's some more off over there. That is a Rupels. There we go. So there are different species of vulture here as well. Aren't they pretty? I mean, compared to the other vultures, with their mottled feathers and their yellowish tip to the beak, or at least yellowish edging to the bill. Just that little bit larger than the white-backed vultures, and therefore more dominant when it comes to feeding at kills. And all of them are looking very fat and very happy, with very full crops. So they've been gorging themselves on the hippopotamus. Brent told me that this morning the hyenas were around here, and that's obviously done a great job in terms of opening up the carcass once again. And if I reposition ever so quickly, which is such a pleasure to be able to do, without, I mean, as much fun as it was jumping up and standing and out of the gap in the roof of Chiku. Each other's nuances. So not for the faint of heart. Although this is not a bad view, you can't see anything too disgusting. There's the hippopotamus. The last time I had a look in this area, that hippo was impossible for the vultures to get to. And it was really very tricky for them to feed off any part of it. But now the hyenas have opened up the skin along the spine, so the vultures have been able to feed in a much more concentrated way. And there we go. That's pretty much all that remains of our hippopotamus. No longer looks as bloated as it did the last time I was here. I don't think we're going to linger too long at a hippopotamus carcass. Oh, William, what a very good question. William is 7 years old and would like to know if it's harder to get closer to the animals here in the Mara than it is in Djuma. William, in certain situations, yes. We're not allowed to off-road everywhere in this particular area, so there's certain places we can go, certain places we can't go. There's certain things that will change as it goes along, but at the moment, if the animal is far away, that's just where it is, and we just can look at it from very far away, which means that we see more, but we don't always get as close as we might on Djuma. But the animals are just as relaxed here. Elephants, lions are perfectly relaxed around vehicles, and cheetah, of course, are actually famous for using the vehicles to hunt, and occasionally jump up on the bonnets of the cars. Not sure how I feel about that. But apparently that does happen. So the animals are just as relaxed. Sometimes you get skittish animals, particularly closer to Tanzania. They don't see as many cars. Right, well, our vultures have their crops full of a dead hippopotamus, but Tayla's got a story, hopefully a happy story, of presumably a live one.
It's a treehouse dam. Oh my gosh, zebra! Yay! We haven't seen zebras in such a long time. They're just down here. We should get a view now of them. Don't run away, zebra. Saying to Craig now, we had their tracks on the road, and I was like, I wonder where these zebra are. They're acting very suspicious lately. Keep hiding away from us. Okay, I think if I position us just on the edge over here, we'll see them. Just 3 of them by the looks of it. Hopefully they're going to be being stared and not dart off too quickly. We'll have a look at them and then I'll get to my hippo story, I promise you. Hi guys, just coming down for a late afternoon drink, are we? I think they are. And like I said, just 3. They actually all look in pretty good nick. I wonder if these aren't 3 stallions, perhaps a bachelor herd. It's a bit difficult to tell from this angle, but just looking at them and their sort of size, they look quite muscly. They look a little bit larger than what a mare would look. So I'm going to go with this being a bachelor herd and this being 3 stallions. That's going to be my guess. I stand in a correction though, of course. Nature could just all of a sudden change them into females, but they look very male-like, but very beautiful nonetheless. We haven't seen stripes in the Sabi sand for quite some time now. And look at them all coming close together. And even though these do look just like males, there we go, that one on the left is definitely a boy. The one on the right looks very much like a boy too. And the one in the middle, yep, bachelor group of zebra. And of course it's very important, even though they are just stallions, they've got each other's backs, just as mares will have in a harem. And because they're living with each other at the moment, they will sort of perform social grooming, the allo grooming that we see quite often with the various animals. So they go up to each other, greet each other, they might have a nibble. But at this time of the day, this could turn into a bit of sort of playfulness. I always find just before the sun sets, which is what it's doing at the moment, as the animals become alive, sort of one last boost of energy, especially if you're a diurnal animal, before you go and find a nice little spot to rest. Beautiful, healthy looking zebra stallions. Right, we're going to send you across now back to Ali, who's on Chitwa and has the young prince of Djuma.
So happy we managed to stay around with him. He hasn't moved. He's just been circling around the tree, and I'm sure he's getting quite annoyed with all the squirrels. So that you can hear that. That's gone quiet, obviously, now that I've mentioned it. That's a squirrel. There we go. And he's been looking... Oh, hello. He's been looking at the squirrel non-stop. And I think wherever the squirrel moves, and he keeps moving around the tree. So, you know, your typical cat and mouse game. And the squirrel clearly can see it, and it's pointing... Are you gonna go up, boy? Maybe not. Is that squirrel bothering you? Now a go-away bird is here too. We have a few hornbills. Look, just his attention. He knows that there's a potential meal there, and I wonder how many squirrels he's actually already eaten. Now we've got the squirrel and the go-away bird trying to make him move. Ah, but you're coming to say hello. Well, good to see you. You are a very brave little one, aren't you? A bit of a tough call, because he's just been moving all the way around us. We are going to try not to move. He is busy looking at one of the pipes down here, so I wonder if maybe there's something in there that he's learned to like. Maybe the annoying squirrel got exactly what it wanted and it just made it go away. And he's gonna probably try a new area. He's going to try to conceal himself and maybe start hunting somewhere else. I know he was looking at some water buck that were far in the distance, especially some youngsters. And I wonder if maybe that's what he was looking at, or where he's going to try and head off to. Even for a youngster, he already knows exactly what he has to do to survive, and you can see how he's playing around with his environment. He keeps checking an area, then moves around, probably making sure that his scent is camouflage. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to move away from the squirrel that's giving away his position. Go ahead. Yeah, affirm. He was in the junction old driveway, Shirambe, but he's busy mobile west now. Right. I think we're going to have to try and move if we want to have another look. He is going onto, or what it seems, onto one of the main roads, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get him there again. Sorry guys, standing by. Sorry, I can't copy you all too well. My radio's not too good, but I think it's Hosana. Oh, I can't hear. Sorry, okay. Affirm, just at the junction. Come towards the dam. Alright, sorry guys, let's go over to Tayla. I'm gonna try and help a few more vehicles come into this area and see if we can find him again. But while I do all of the... see how she's faring.
We have got some crested francolins walking into the long grass. Bye. Off they go. Just a family coming out to see what they can sort of get just before the sun goes down. Now, I've stopped. Our zebra ran away into the thicket, and I wanted to tell you now about this hippo story for about 2 days, or at least 3 safaris. So I had an interesting experience. You all remember when I had to get towed home by our knight in shining armor, aka Connor, aka drone pilot, and we were basically stranded, of course, at Chitwa Dam. So while we were sitting there, we unfortunately were in a position where we didn't have any signal either, so it wasn't great. But I watched this sighting that unfolded in front of my eyes, and I was so surprised by it. So basically what had happened was where the crocodile normally sits on the little island, for those of you who watch all the time at the Chitwa Dam, there's a bush willow that's right on the edge, and it forms a nice bit of shade, and often the hippos are sitting underneath there. But what I witnessed next was completely bizarre, and I am bringing my phone out to show you this. I just want to make sure that it is nice and clean because I took some photos. The whole tree, next minute the whole tree was inside the water, and I couldn't understand what had happened, and then it bounced back up, and then it was clear to me that there was a hippo that was stretching up and pulling sort of leaves out of this bush willow. And I thought, that's a bit unusual, but I'm not completely surprised by it because I've seen the animals do strange things all the time. And I thought, well, it's not winter, it's not a harsh time, why is it eating leaves? Until I looked closely. Have a look what I found. Can you see that? There's a hippo now right at its mouth over there. There we go, that's better. I'm just trying to get the right angle. That is a weaver's nest that you can see. How crazy is that? And I'm going to go to one more photo. No, that's everyone in the kitchen filming Amanda's video, in case you watched Amanda's video. That was in Essentia. Filming Amanda. There we go. And there we go. And you can see the weaver's nest right inside the mouth. Now, I watched it carefully to make sure and to see if it actually swallowed it. It did. It was sitting in the water, pulling all the weaver's nests off of the tree and then eating them. And I thought to myself, that is bizarre. I've never seen anything like that, which was quite amazing. And what I think is happening is obviously it was just a little bit hungry. It seemed to be a younger hippo. It looked like a young female to me. And there were quite a few of them around. None of the other hippos were doing it. And I suppose those nests are made out of grass. So I thought that that was very, very interesting behavior. And I'd never seen it before. I don't know if I'll ever see something like that again. I shuffled in my seat and listened to the crested francolins now. You would swear that I was a leopard because that is the sound that a crested francolin makes when a leopard walks through the grass, but it wasn't. It was because of me. I shuffled in my seat and they obviously maybe forgotten that I was actually there. I'm sitting there the whole time. Bye-bye. Well, rather than being a little bit more cautious, that's probably what's going to keep them alive, than, you know, maybe being a little bit complacent. You never know who you can or what you can trust in the bush. I'd also be a bit nervous if I saw this big thing driving around and Craig and I on the back. It seems as though the Mara team is on a roll. Animals wherever they look. Jamie is sitting with some hyena.
Thinking. Look at what we've got here. That's what I was hoping for when we went across to our hippo carcass. But it's difficult to drive around here at the moment and not find one of these creatures, and almost invariably so muddy that it completely obscures their spots. And they almost look like brown hyenas. In fact, when I first saw it, I thought it was a warthog in the long grass. I just saw the back end of it. Oh, there it goes, vanishing off. We actually don't know much about this particular clan. We hear them every single night. They come to explore around the lodge just to see... Oh, look how long that grass is. Oh, Dave, do you smell what that hyena just deposited? Oh. Okay, let's see if we can get you one more view. I think that's it, everybody. I think that hyena has pretty much vanished, but it sounds like Ali has got a view of Hosana once again. What is that?
I do have a view. He is busy hiding in between the bushes, but I'm so excited we managed to see him, and he's definitely on the hunt. You can tell by his body posture and the way that he's stalking and making himself look a lot smaller and constantly gazing in one direction. I still don't know what it is that he's looking at. Oh, okay, there is a kudu over there, which I think is still a bit optimistic. It's good to know that you're dreaming big, Hosana. But I think that might just be a bit too big. Is it a small one or... Okay, so the other guys say that they can see a kudu not far from there. And if you were all wondering, we're keeping it all in the family. But let's maybe see if we can get another view. I can't stay in one place because then we won't be able to see him whatsoever because he's moved off. And I can't see the prey from here either. Alrighty. Let's see where he's going off to. Like I said, when he becomes older and when he becomes a much stronger leopard, he could potentially bring down kudu. I think if he managed to do so now, it would be, wow, it would be quite incredible. He's still a bit small to be able to get that. Standing by. Okay, Gabi confirm he's gone after the Shabalala. He is a Nyala. I called a Nyala. Okay, so he is looking at a Nyala somewhere and he's on the road. Apparently somewhere. I can't see him from here, but I believe some of the other guys are able to. We've got a... Is it running there? Okay, I'm gonna try and move us to the road. Hopefully we'll be able to have a bit of a better look from there. Okay, we're gonna go very slowly. I'm not too sure where he's gone off to now, but I see some ears. Okay. Okay, copy. I'm gonna stay on the other side. Alright, he's moved onto Little Gowrie. So, unfortunately, he's moved onto an area where we cannot follow him. And, definitely looking at some kudu all the way over there, and he will start. Sorry, the radio is going in my ear. Okay, off you go. Sorry, I can't remember, but somebody was wondering when he would start claiming a territory for his... Ed, sorry, you were wondering when he will start claiming a territory for himself and settle in a particular area. Well, he's still a bit too young, and there are lots of much bigger dominant males around this area. So I would say for the next maybe even couple of years, he will have to lay low and just make sure that he doesn't get too cocky, because the males that are around, more experienced male, will very easily consider him a potential... a potential opponent, and they wouldn't be happy to have him around. So I'm sure they would just kick him out, and sometimes they even manage to kill one another. So I think for the next little while, he's just gonna have to stand very still. Well, not stand very still, but just, keep it on the down low, just to make sure that he doesn't do anything that's gonna be detrimental for his survival. Unfortunately, he has gone off to the wrong property, and we cannot follow him any longer. I know he's not too far, he's just on the other side of the road, because clearly that's where the vehicle is going, but I have no more visual for him, and I think he's just carried on going. The kudus were pretty much on this side, and I think that's what he was looking at, and when he initially was gazing upon this direction, maybe there is a youngster amongst them, I can't really see from here, and that's what he was looking at. But what a wonderful surprise! We definitely did not expect him to be here. Machine gun nest, yes, he's definitely on the hunt, and he's looking quite healthy. I think he was even trying his luck maybe with some of the squirrels that were around here, and I think maybe he's been on the hunt for the last few hours, and we just caught him at the right time where he was busy resting. Let's see if maybe by any chance he decides to come back onto this area, but I don't think we have a good chance of that happening. But very happy we managed to see him, at least for a few seconds, because I know Shongila's been around, and well, she's been quite friendly to all of us, but everyone has been wondering where Hosana has been. So now we know that he's been doing quite well, exploring new lands, maybe expanding the areas where he hangs in, just to see. Maybe there's a void, maybe there's, there aren't, so Tingana hasn't been around here, and so he comes into this area because he knows there's no big male around here. Maybe he's going to start exploring and moving around. The chances of him, however, of sticking in this area, I think only time will tell. See perhaps in the next few minutes if he does decide to come back, but in the meantime, let's go to Tayla, who's already looking for nighttime creatures.
We are, Ellie, we are, and I'm so jealous that you got to see Hosana. I haven't seen him in such a long time, but very cool nonetheless. I hope you managed to find him again. Now, the animal in particular that I have not seen for quite some time, but I've heard calling in the middle of the night and rummaging through camp, is the hyenas. So I have created a song. It's not an original song. Well, the tune is not original. You'll probably figure out what song it is straight away, but I've added my own lyrics, and I hope that it gets stuck in your head, but the hyena version. Are you ready, Craig? Okay, Megan, are you ready? Megan's directing, of course. Are you ready for my song? I think I've sang it the entire day throughout camp. It's actually been in my head since this morning, and it goes something like this. Search, 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 searching for hyenas while at work. Search, 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 and then it just goes on and repeats itself. But you get the drift. But that is what has been driving me crazy today. That's all I can think about the whole day. But I had to change the lyrics because, well, the original ones, I think I just annoyed everybody, so I just applied it to work and thought I'd make it a bit more safari-like. So that's what we're doing. We're searching for hyenas, and I'm hoping by driving on some of these boundary roads, we're doing a very slow, casual boundary patrol, that we are going to bump into a hyena, because these are the areas that we see their tracks littered all over the road every single morning. So surely if I drive around here I might find them. We will swing past the hyena den at 1.2. We just want to quickly check here. Also, we don't know where Shadow went. I thought they said something about Shadow's tracks crossing south this morning, but I can't remember seeing them. I did see Tingana's. I did see Shongile's tracks also crossing out. So I'm going to check some old favorites of Shadow and see if she isn't perhaps moving around looking for her next meal. So I'm right here at Mgari Main. We're going to go up onto Triple M, do Impala Plains Road, and then back towards the hyena den. But I'm going to send you across now to Jamie, who is watching the storm coming in.
We don't have to sing a song about finding hyenas, because everywhere we look they just pop their heads up. I'm shouting over the sound of poor Paka, who now has to face her very first journey. Hello Zebs, hello Impala, can't stop, I don't have power. Oh, she's got to face her very first journey up the hill. Oh, we're not going to make it, Dave, come on, let's do it. We're going to have to low range it. This is the hill that we've got to climb over there. Sorry Zebs, I can't stop, can't lose the momentum. I just want to show you how steep it is. So there's the hill. Oh goodness. Okay, so we know that Paka's not a supple car. Alright, here we go. Oh goodness. That's interesting. You shouldn't really be able to stall with the clutch in. And the hyenas are calling. The gate is closing. Ah! Dave, I don't know if we're going to get up this hill. No, Buffalo, don't look at me like that. This is not good, Dave. Alright, we're going to battle our way up here. Let's go back to Djuma and Ali, who is looking or has lost Hosana.
Welcome back everybody. I'm not Ali, of course, even though we've got similar coloured hair. Not Ali, but it's okay. The gremlins are now attacking everybody's minds too. It seems as though they're multiplying and there are stronger strains out today. We'll have to go for our gremlin vaccinations. Hey Craig? We're going to have to take tomorrow off and go into town to the doctors and see if they've got anything for these gremlins. Right, we're still searching for any animals. I haven't seen any leopard tracks just yet. I haven't seen any eyes glowing or reflecting back at me. So no hyenas. We're just taking it very easy, trying not to freeze to death. And I think that I've made a big mistake in coming out in shorts today. I think I should have gone with afternoon long pants too, because I'm freezing. I'm actually going to have to add my scarf. I think that will help. Do you think that will help a little bit, Craig? Let's put the scarf on. Oh, that's so cozy and so nice and warm. It's even long enough that I can put it a little bit over my legs too, like a little blanket. Craig looks freezing too. He's gone into the fetal position. It is just because you're cold. You're not dying, hey Craig? Now he's laughing. Right, let's see what else we can find. Are we going to spot chameleons tonight? I think we'll be very lucky if we find them. It's a little bit on the cold side, as we were just saying. So I don't know if they're going to be out and on the edge of perhaps the trees. I think possibly, if anything, they might be further in and amongst the tree. So we'll change our spotting technique just slightly. We'll still scan the entire tree. It's just getting dark enough now. Wait, corrugations. Just getting dark enough now that we can actually use the spotlight. We'll start searching more of the center of the plants to see if we can find one. Maybe some owls would be nice. I feel like I haven't seen an owl in quite some time. And I've started seeing a lot more rodents now, sort of just dashing across the path or across the roads and then onto animal pathways and into the long grass. So I'm hoping with the sort of boost of rodents at the moment. I wonder if the owls are going to come back, because that's sort of one of their favorite foods. There might be an opportunity. But you know what I am going to have to do? You're going to have to witness it. You know the earpiece saga that we go on about, and sort of a love-hate relationship between our earpieces. Mine keeps falling out. Now, Ellie has got an interesting technique. She uses a bobby pin to connect hers underneath into her hat. I use tape from my first aid kit, and I think I have to redo it. This is also really great if you want to pull your hair out. This works really well, so I do that quite often. So we're just going to stick that just behind my ear and hopefully get it to work. I apologize. You have to see me as my earpiece just keeps popping out. There we go. Ha! So much more comfortable. Now I can actually concentrate on looking for animals and not bother about that silly earpiece. Right. We should do a bloopers video on how often we talk about our earpiece. Ooh, Machine Gun Nest, you have requested a eagle owl this evening, spotted eagle owl. Well, this is actually a good route. I almost said good spot. Triple M is known for eagle owls. Tristan at one point was seeing them quite regularly. Now the tape is now stuck to everything. Right, let me just make sure it's all loose. Yep. No, it's not getting attached to anything. So we might get lucky. Like I said, you know, we haven't been seeing many rodents and things running around, but surely if they are out and about, the things that eat them must come out and about too. I'd like to see a little barred owlet this evening, catching a big juicy grasshopper or something like that, something delicious, or maybe a little mouse. They like lots of insects, so. Okay, so we're about to pop out onto Impala Plains now. Potentially in this area we could see lions, because the Ngoma Pride was still moving around on Simbambili this morning. I know they were tracking them. I don't know if they found them though. They must have just been laying in the thicket. Just checking the doors closed properly. So they could pop back on here at any time. So we will head down in that direction too. Let's see. No chameleons there. These are my favorite trees, the bush willows, to find chameleons on. They're so reliable. I always get them on them. I still haven't worked out why though. Why they prefer the silver cluster leaves. Not silver cluster leaves, bush willows. Now, another animal, creature of the night that has been requested, and Jenny, you would like to see bush babies. Bush babies, yes. Always down for some bush babies. That, we might have to head to some thicker vegetation. I think it's maybe not dense enough here for the bush babies. But we could see them jumping about. Well, there's a couple that live on quarantine that have been seeing very quickly. They haven't been too relaxed around the car, so they kept jumping away, but bouncing about some of the marulas and the silver cluster leaves, so we can always head there too. Oh, look at the Hadeda. It's a group of pterodactyls. That's awesome. Bye, Hadeda. Obviously all finished foraging for the day. Now they're going to go and find a place to roost, and hopefully it's not on the fever tree outside my room, because I don't know if I could quite take Hadeda and buffalo weavers giving their calls all at once. I don't think I would get any sleep. And isn't tonight full moon? Or was it yesterday? It was yesterday full moon, because I can't see the moon now at all. Tonight is apparently full moon, but I can't see it. Now, theoretically, it should have risen as the sun set. Maybe it's just a little bit behind the sun, but also it's a bit cloudy back the other end. So maybe that's why I can't see it, and we're quite low down. What do you think, Craig? Should we just go straight to quarantine and see if we can see the moon? We might as well. No, we've got a bit of a drive, but maybe that will be our plan now. Is we'll go searching for those bush babies I was telling you about in the marula trees. And then oh, scrub here, careful, don't run out onto the road. There's a little scrub here that was just darting towards us. No, you stay there in the thicket, hide away from those owls. And yeah, maybe we'll do that. It could be quite nice, I think, to see the full moon. Still just trying to stick my earpiece down. It failed miserably. Now my hair is coming undone, falling apart. wants to see. Now, Karen, you've said civet or honey badgers. I'd like to see a civet. We've got a possibility of seeing a civet. Remember the other evening we had a quick glimpse of one as it was running into the thicket. That civet lives around and every single night. Let's go across to Ellie very quickly. She's back. She's almost on Djuma, I think.
Yeah, sorry guys, unfortunately the royal prince went onto Little Gowrie and we couldn't follow him anymore, but some of the guys are still there, so if he does manage to make a kill, which will make us all very proud, I'm sure we'll be able to find out. But how amazing, what a great surprise to see him there. I was definitely not expecting to see him all the way at Chitwa Dam. I thought that was still a bit too far away from him, but it's proof that he's expanding and moving around and just trying his luck at other territories, which I think shows that he is a very clever little boy. I'm sure his mom taught him well. Now, on to other nighttime creatures. I would really like to see a pangolin one day, and I'm gonna carry on wishing for it until the day that I see it, and then probably after I see it I will want to see another one. But serval would be good, caracal would be good, aardvark would be good, any other leopard would also be very good, lions would be amazing. So I'm just pretty much happy with anything. I think once again we were rewarded, we were enjoying all the little things, all of us together on this drive, and it seems like good things came our way. And I think maybe we definitely need to adopt this theory that animals need to come and find us, because it seems like we get lucky once we pretty much let them do their thing. Whew. Right, I think this is the first night drive where I put on my gloves from so early on. I think I put them on a few times, but it is very chilly today, so I'm not sure I'll be able to survive tomorrow morning. We'll see, maybe I'll be an ice cube in the morning. Owls would be good. I know Tayla was looking for owls, and I would also really like to see owls, but I'm not too sure where they are. I keep hearing pearl-spotted owlets and scops owls outside of my room during the day and during the night, but Joshua, you say you want to see a pearl-spotted owlet. I also want to see a pearly. They're so cute. Oh, I thought there was one calling just now, but it wasn't. I would really like to see them. I haven't seen my first one on Djuma yet, so I will be very thrilled if we do manage to find one tonight. There's still a bit of light, so I'm not going to bring the spotlight out just yet, but within the next few minutes I'm sure I will. I'm also hoping that maybe there will be a chameleon somewhere easy for us to spot. But I know Tayla's a queen of chameleons, and she's got Batman the vehicle with her, so those two I think are the invincible chameleon team. I don't think I will stand a chance against them. Seems like maybe Tayla's heard me and she's looking for chameleons. So let's go over to her and see if she's had any luck finding the first one.
The only thing I've successfully found so far, Ellies, was the termite mound, which we just passed. I am still searching for chameleons. I've moved into an area where there are many different types of bush willows, so I feel as though my luck is going to get better now. Well, theoretically, it should get better. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why they like bush willows so much. Maybe they attract insects. I don't know, but they're always on them. Let's see if I can prove my theory to be correct. Craig, have you got your eyes open, spotting for chameleons? Craig's actually got serious eagle eyes. He'll spot the most ridiculous thing. You know, he might not see the elephant standing next to the car, but he'll spot the tree agama on the tree 4,000 kilometers away. He'll see that. It's amazing, Craig. I'm obviously teasing. Craig can spot all the animals very well. Right. I don't know. I just feel like maybe my chameleon luck is not going to be. I want it to be here, because I like to find one chameleon every single drive, and yesterday I found two, if I'm not mistaken. Did I have two, Craig? Did I drive with you yesterday, or was it Sebastian? I think we did have two chameleons. No, none on that one. Check this wattle, never know. Sneaky wattle might have one on. And I'm checking the trees, of course, for owls, and on the road. I feel as though if we're going to find an owl, We're probably going to see it on the road. Maybe a spotted eagle owl. Oh, there's the moon. Let's have a very quick look at it because it's so beautiful. How beautiful is that? Just poking above the clouds. So that explains why we weren't able to see it a little while ago. Now, of course, Ellie is bouncing about on Weaver's Nest, and I'm sure because it's a very bumpy road, but she has found herself a view of the moon too.
It is a stunning moon. How can you not stop and look at it? Today is actually the full moon, so, and look just how enormous it looks. I think it looks stunning all the way from there. And there's a bit of a curious fact that I learned today, which I didn't really know. Apparently the full moon in June is called a strawberry moon. And they call it the strawberry moon not because it looks very beautiful and red, but they call it the strawberry moon because apparently, according to an old farmer's calendar, this is the time where you can start picking berries if you grow berries. So how's that? So I hope if you have berries in your garden, you take the hint and then you send us some here so that we can enjoy them while we watch the moon. But yes, the strawberry moon. There are all sorts of different, apparently all sorts of full moons have different names according to the month that they're in. But the only other one that I can remember is the buck moon. Buck as in water buck or bush buck. And I'm not too sure, I was a bit afraid of carry on reading in case they said that that's the time of the year where you eat your buck. But I think I'm just gonna carry on with the mystery of that one. But June is a strawberry moon. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sure it's going to carry on going all the way up in between the clouds, and it's going to look quite stunning as it does. But for now, we can see pretty much just a tiny bit of the glimpse of the moon, so we're going to carry on driving. And once it comes out, if it does come out while we're still with you guys and we see it all pretty and shining onto the land, then we'll stop again and show it to you guys. But I think for now, it's going to take a little while before it does. Beautiful. Strawberry moon. Very special, the moon rises and the sun sets here. You see, we just need to find a flying broomstick. Maybe we do, maybe, you know, I don't know if I should take that as a hint and find myself a flying broomstick. If I had one, I would very much use it like Harry Potter, and I would not jump on a plane ever again, although I reckon I would be even more cold, so maybe I need to think this through a little bit more. But here we go with the trusty spotlight. Maybe we'll find a chameleon before Tayla, because I know she's challenged me to many chameleon challenges, and luckily she always forgets about them because I'm sure I would lose. But let's see, maybe today I'll get lucky. Oh, maybe we should do an owl challenge. Hey, we need to find a chameleon.
I'm trying to find a rattle. There's a rattle in this car and it has to stop. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to concentrate. That is it. There we go. Thanks, Craig. So one of the things about my concentration issues is that if I can hear a strange little noise, even somebody tapping on a desk behind me or breathing too loudly, it freaks me out. But Ellie, I am looking for chameleons. I haven't found a chameleon. I was going to show you a nightjar and then it flew away. Nightjar, that's mean. You were just about to get into the spotlight. Right, chameleon, make up for it. Show yourselves. Uncamouflage yourself at once. Let's see. Now, earlier I was making some statements about... I can hear it still. I'm going to try and not let it bother me, but it's a serious tinging, rattling noise. It's very upsetting. That sound. Sorry, Rebecca. So I was saying earlier about how the chameleons like, of course, bush willows. And you were wondering if bush willows are chameleon's favorite tree. I don't know if you could call them the favorite of the tree. I think it's just been my luck. I think every chameleon I seem to have found most of the time is either on a marula tree or one of the bush willows, whether it's a large fruited bush willow, russet bush willow, variable bush willow. They just seem to like them. So we're on quarantine now, so we're also searching for the bush babies that I said that I've seen around here the last few nights, but never sitting still for long enough. I think something has come loose in the car, Craig. When you hear rattles, it makes me a little bit nervous because we're obviously driving around bouncing on these cars quite a bit, but so are the bolts. The bolts are also loosening themselves every now and then, even though everything's nice and tight. After a while, a bit of wear and tear does happen. So I'm worried now. The car's going to fall apart. Oh no. Jenny says that I have to sing the chameleon song. Now I can't remember the lyrics though, because that was spontaneous. I hadn't even prepared that one. I just sang it. But it was... Come a chameleon. I'm gonna find you. I don't know the words. Jenny, I'm so sorry, I've forgotten. You'll have to help me. Maybe you can tell me what words I use. It was right, Megan, now I know. But like I can't remember the whole thing. There was something about me searching in the spotlight. I'm sure I mentioned something about camouflage too. But you know what? That was a one-time wonder, a one-hit wonder, and that was and it cannot be repeated. We'll come up with another chameleon song though. Let me think of a tune in my head very quickly. Now the pressure's on. I'm going to try, and I must try and concentrate with the rattling sound. That's going to be interesting. Craig, any thoughts as to what song, what tune I should use to try and create a new chameleon song? Oh yes, I don't think we've heard Ellies sing before. Let's go to Ellie and also see if she's got a song about chameleons.
I definitely cannot sing, not even one song. If I sing, we're gonna have the worst rains that we've had in the last 1,000 years. That's what a bad singer I am. So I just use all my wishful thinking, Tayla. I can't really sing. I'm terrible at it. As much as I've tried all my life and made everyone deaf, I'm gonna have to go the good old-fashioned way of just asking chameleons politely to come to us. Just at the entrance of the hyena den, so I just want to come and have a quick look, see if perhaps we see them. Ali, you're wondering if the owls are out at night even if it's cold. Yes, they are. They need to go hunting, and a lot of the owls do it during the night. There are smaller species like the pearl-spotted owlets and the barred owlets that can also hunt during the day. But if it's way too cold, it might just take them a little while longer to start hunting, or they will not hunt during the coldest part of the night, and then they'll start hunting maybe a bit into the morning once it warms up a little bit. Now, let's see if perhaps we get lucky today with another cub. As we came in this morning and they were not around. I don't think so. I think it's quite empty. It's just maybe... yeah, I don't think they're here. Nobody's home. It is very dark. I just don't want to put the spotlight on the den, as you all know. And I don't rather not turn my lights on too much around here. But no hyenas here, unfortunately. Oh well, we've tried. We'll have to carry on searching for chameleons and the moon, I guess. I think the moon is going to be easier. Rakesh, you're wondering how many colors can a chameleon change into? Well, the ones that we've got here, and I'm pretty sure this is valid for all of them, they cannot turn into any color of the rainbow. So they can only turn into the colors of their environment, or the environment that they live in. So the ones that we get here, and we get the flap neck chameleon here, they are of a green color, and this flap underneath their neck has got or can be of an orange color. So they can normally swap between the shades of green, brown, black, white, grey, just the colors that they would normally find all around the bush, because those are the colors that they need to be in order to be able to hide and blend with the trees and the branches and the plants of wherever it is that they live. Where are you, chameleons? I think the rarest form of a chameleon that I've seen, or the rarest color I've seen it in, was one day that it was so incredibly hot at night. Even I think at 8 o'clock at night it was still like 32 degrees Celsius, and we were dying, and all the chameleons were white, trying to repel all the light and not warm up. I couldn't believe it. I knew it was hot because the chameleons were also hot. Whoop. Come, chameleons, we're looking for you. Whew. Let's go to Tayla, who's armed with her spotlight, and see how her search is going.
No, I haven't found anything, but I've made another song though. It's not a very good one. I'm not particularly proud of it, but Jenny requested it, so I suppose I better honor her. I'm scared. I'm exchanging it while I'm driving, so it drowns out the sound of my voice a little bit. Right, we're ready? Chameleons, 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 and your green-coloured skin. We're looking up and down and inside the trees. Hopefully we won't spot leaves. That's my song. I don't have any more choruses though. In such a short space of time, that's all that I could muster up. Hello, wildebeest. You sleeping? No? Got your heads down? You're all grazing? We're just going to bypass the wildebeest. I think we've bothered them enough for 24 hours. We can harass them again first thing in the morning. Don't go anywhere. Off they go. Well, no, actually off we go. They weren't going anywhere. So I'm just checking in some of these spots. I might actually go down to Philemon's Dip, because that's a good spot for chameleons. Or we'll check the spot where Craig spotted one, which is just near Inga's. And then we're also going to look at these trees here. These trees have no chameleons in them. I think it might be a little bit too cold. I think that's why they've hidden themselves away. Hang on, this is a good one though. This is not a bush willow though. This is a common spike thorn. Nope, no chameleons on the spike thorn either. Keep trying. As they say in Afrikaans, ons sal probeer. I think it's we keep trying. My Afrikaans is really terrible, so I apologize if I didn't get it right. I can see Ellie now. Let me put my blind lights, my bright lights off. They are blind lights too, because they will blind you if you stare into them for too long. The LEDs will go into darkness mode, and that great light that you can... There's an owl, I can hear it. It's a pearl-spotted owlet. Now this is the difficult part. Now we need to find it. You can hear it calling. There it is! Go forward, Craig, hold on, I'm going to show it to you. No, don't fly, don't fly. I've just spotted it move. I hope there's not a stump in front of me because I can't see it. It's just gone in here. Let's try again. There we go, Craig. I don't think you can see underneath. I can actually see it. I can see the pearl spotted owlet. Have you got it? Ah, it was just there. It's gone. It's flown. No, it was. You might have seen the leaves just move. Let me try and call it. It seems to be responding to me, which is impressive. It must mean that my call is not too bad. Let's try this again. Let's see if I get a response. Where have you gone, little owl? It's in here. I think it's just flown a bit further away. Let me try and shuffle again. It's so difficult to spot these little owls. They're so small. Make sure there's no trees behind me as well. Oh, you see, it's so hard. As when it flies, you can spot it. Otherwise, it's proving to be quite difficult. Let's try this position. I don't know if birds, well, if owls in particular, respond to chuffing. It's in here, you can hear it. I actually think that there's 2 of them here in this tree, to be honest. And I keep seeing flutters of leaves. One's just flown. Where did it go now? Anyways, we're going to keep searching. There's 2 of them bouncing about between the marulas. Ellie's got her spotlight in hand, also looking for... Hang on. Sorry, Megan, I know. It's just here, it's playing games with us. It's flying at the moment. I was going to send you across to Ellie, but I feel like we're going to see it. You see, Craig, it's close. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to pearl-spotted owlets, they've got a bit of a ventriloquist call. So you think you know where it's coming from, but in the meantime, it's actually coming from somewhere else. But there are definitely 2 of them communicating with each other. And maybe I'm the 3rd one. Just scanning, so you will see my spotlight move every now and then. Where are you? Hidden. I feel like the pearl-spotted owlet has got better camouflage than the chameleon. I have to agree with Alara Moore this evening. You've said, let's play hide and seek, says the owls. I agree with you. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Like I said, I've seen flashes of feathers moving about, but this marula tree's got quite a few twigs on it and still covered with leaves, so it is proving to be a little bit difficult. But I reckon if we're patient, it'll eventually hop onto a branch that we'll be able to see. I'm going to keep searching, and hopefully we'll find these little birds to show you, but I'm going to send you across to Ellie in the meantime.
We're still searching. We've expanded our search now to civets and porcupines too. Would love to see one of those ones running around. And I think this is a popular road for a certain civet that seems to be quite relaxed. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll come and grace us with his presence. And so far, no luck with chameleons. I wonder if it is indeed, as Tayla was saying, a bit too cold for them and that's why they're not around. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Because today has been a very strange day for all of us. Let's see. Kenneth from Canada, you're wondering if we ever get frost here. Yes, we do. I'm not too sure if we get it here on Djuma. I would imagine that there's a very high possibility, but I know that further south in the Sawi Sand, very close to the rivers, we definitely get frost during the winter time. Very, very cold. And it's funny because there are certain roads close to the rivers that almost become like an afternoon road. Nobody will use it during the morning because it's way too cold to try and drive over there. But in some areas in like Johannesburg, I think they're already starting to get frost. I was there a few weeks ago and I just remember freezing and walking out in the morning. Everything's already starting to have that little almost like glitter. Very typical of the frosty weather. I have a good feeling for chameleons somewhere around here. Come on. No? Bush babies? Anyone? Normally all these guaris are good for chameleons and they seem to enjoy them. Maybe not today. Off we go. Everyone's being quiet. I wonder if the animals know that it's gonna get colder during the night and everyone's just finding a good place to sleep. Although with all these clouds, if the cloud cover carries on, we're actually going to have a bit of a warm night, and we're not going to be as cold as we normally are. No leopard up this tree. Karna, you'd like to know what type of animals we usually see now. We see all sorts of different creatures, but at this time of the day we are mostly looking for the smaller nocturnal creatures that we don't see all that much. So we're looking for porcupines, big porcupines, civets, servals that is almost like a miniature leopard. We're looking for bush baby, one of the smallest or the smallest primate that we get over here, which is like almost like a little teddy bear about this big that jumps around in between the trees. We're looking for chameleons. We're looking for aardvarks, that is a funny looking creature that is a bit of a mix between I would say a pig and something that belongs to another world, because they are quite odd looking. We're looking for pangolin, which is a beautiful creature that when it rolls up into a bowl for safety looks like a giant artichoke. I don't know, what else are we well, leopards of course, lions. I don't know if have I left any of them out, Seb? I think that those are all. We're looking for any one of them, and well, any other that would love to come and surprise us like that caracal did to Tayla. That would be fantastic. But I'm happy to settle with pretty much anything at this point. The moon is still not out. I'm still keeping an eye because it's taking quite a long time to try and get through all those clouds. So hopefully we'll be able to have a nice view so that you guys can see it. But not yet. I still gotta fight all those clouds to come all the way up. But not too long now. Hopefully in the next few minutes or so we'll be able to show it to you guys, because it's definitely such a beautiful moon, this strawberry moon. We will carry on looking, but in the meantime let's go over to Tayla, who's still looking for chameleons.
I am still looking for chameleons, and I just have many chameleon songs in my head this evening as well. Every song that has popped into my head, including Rub Dub a Dub, Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. That song, I put words to it as well now about chameleons. But no chameleons, and our pearl-spotted owlets flew into Ingers somewhere, so where Brent and Jamie used to live, another set of accommodation that we have for all of the Wild Earth employees. So that's our pearl-spotted owlet sighting, disappeared. I think it could have been my call that maybe chased them away. I think they must have thought, that sounds like a very big pearl-spotted owlet. I should have whistled a little bit softer to try and lure them in. But it didn't work, so I'm not an owl whisperer. I apologize for that. I can, though, say that once I went hoo to not a pearl-spotted owlet, a spotted eagle owl, and it responded. That is the extent of my owl whispering skills, and that was probably about 5 years ago, so I'm not very good at it anymore. Well, maybe we'll have to try with the spotted eagle owls. But unfortunately, we're coming down to the final moments of the show now, and Ali and I are on an even score of 0 with chameleon search this evening. We will have another opportunity to put our challenges to the test tomorrow evening for the sunset safari. But of course, don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning and keep an eye out on that damn cam, and if you do see anything, remember to hashtag Safari Live with your information. We use it all the time. It helps us in finding the animals. So thank you to everybody this afternoon, this fine Friday. Have a great weekend wherever you may be, and we'll see you first thing in the morning.